Let's be honest, almost every artist at some point wonders, do I really need a record label to make it big? That's a fair question, because the role of a label has changed massively over the years. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what a label actually does, when you might need one, and when you might be better off staying independent. Let's get into it. Part 1. What a label actually does. At its core, a label's main job is to help artists grow. They do that through three main things: marketing, funding, and connections. A good label promotes your music, pushes it to playlists, sets up interviews, and sometimes even helps you get on radio or into major festivals. They also handle distribution, meaning they get your music on platforms around the world and make sure it's available everywhere people listen. But here's the truth, a label is not a guarantee of success. They can give you access, but they can't make the world care. A label will use its network and marketing team to boost your reach, but there's never a promise your release will blow up. Success still depends on how good your music is, how hard you work, and how your audience connects with what you are doing. So now let's talk about money. Labels can provide recording budget and advances. Advances are sums of money to help you create your album, shoot a music video, or pay for high-end production. That can be a huge advantage if you're trying to take your sound to the next level. However, that money usually comes with strings attached. Most label deals, especially for new artists, mean the label owns your masters, the actual sound recordings. Owning the masters gives them full control over how your music is used and where it is sold. If you ever hear artists talk about owning their masters, this is why. It's about control, leverage, and long-term income. Part 2. Why you might not need a label yet. If you're just getting started, writing, recording, and releasing your own songs, you probably don't need a label right away. These days, recording and releasing music has never been easier. You don't need a massive studio or a big label budget. Platforms like DistroKid, CD Baby, or TuneCore make it simple to distribute your music to every major streaming service. All you really need is your master file, your artwork, and a plan to get people listening. But here's the hardest part: promotion. Spotify reports that between 50 and 100,000 new tracks are uploaded every single day. That's a huge amount of competition. So how do you stand out? It all comes down to marketing and storytelling. You have to find ways to connect your music to real people. That means using social media, building your brand, and engaging with your audience consistently. You might get lucky and land on a big playlist, but relying on luck is not a strategy. Marketing your music increases the probability of success. It gives your songs a fighting chance. From the very beginning, start building your fanbase. Ask your friends and their friends to share your tracks. Build your online presence. Treat your music career like a small business, because that's exactly what it is. Part 3. When a label can actually help you. So, if you can release music yourself, why do labels still exist? Because once you reach a certain level, a label can be a great partner that takes you further. If you're a mid-level artist with a growing audience, a label's network can open doors that are otherwise hard to reach. They can get you collaborations with bigger names, access to international markets, or connections with top producers, engineers, and media outlets. Sometimes it's not even about money. It's about goodwill and relationships. In the music industry, being in the right place at the right time with the right team can make all the difference. Labels also have marketing infrastructure that can amplify what you're already doing. They have relationships with DSPs, playlist curators, and media contacts. That reach can help your releases perform better globally. But remember, labels are businesses. They invest in artists with the goal of making a return. If they're putting money into your project, they'll expect to earn it back. Part 4. What about major artists? When you reach a global level, things change again. Superstars rarely sign the same kind of deals that new artists do. Big artists often go for distribution or partnership deals instead of traditional contracts. These deals let them keep ownership of their masters and simply use the label's network to distribute and market their music worldwide. If you look at the biggest earners in the industry, most of them have some form of connection with a major label, whether through a distribution deal, a joint venture, or their own label under a major label. That's because major labels still have the scale, the global reach, and the resources that can't easily be replicated independently. But those artists are in a position of power. They're negotiating from strength and not from desperation. Part 5. The real question. What is right for you? So, do you really need a label? The answer depends entirely on where you are in your journey right now. If you're just starting out, you probably don't need a label. Focus on developing your sound, growing your fan base, and learning the business. You can stay independent and still reach millions of people. If you're already established and ready to expand your reach, then a label might be a strategic move. But even then, approach it like a business deal. Understand what you're giving up and what you're getting in return. Knowledge is your best defense in this case. The more you understand how this industry operates, the more control you will have over your future. So, to conclude this topic, the music business is evolving fast, but one thing hasn't changed. Your success still depends on your drive, your creativity, and your connection with your audience. A label can open doors, but you have to walk through them. So, before you sign anything, make sure you know exactly what you want, what you're worth, and what you're willing to give up to get it. Whether you stay independent or sign to a major, the most important thing is ownership. Ownership of your music, of your brand, and your path. Thanks for watching, and make sure to watch my other videos on the channel as well if you're serious about your career in the music business. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.